Hello, everyone. Glad that you're here to read again. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to be continuing our story about hurricanes. This would be our last reading session on the topic hurricanes. So I do hope that you guys are ready. And please don't forget to comment in the comment section, guys, where you're from. Tell us where you're viewing from so that we can have an idea where you're viewing from. And that would help us to improve on quality. Sorry, guys. That would help us to improve on the quality of the instructions that we give. That would help us to know how to give the instructions based on where you're from. It would help us to actually know if you are an English learner or if you already have the language and you are just trying to build up your reading. So that would be very important for us. Please, guys, comment in the comment section. Let us know where you're from. Where are you feeling from? Thank you so much for being here. You wonderful people. All of you who are here. We do appreciate you taking the time to be here today. Also, we are going to be breaking the segments where you guys would be able to come up at the end to read a portion of what we would be reading today. So you would actually have that opportunity to come up and read. So I hope that you take advantage of that opportunity. And for those of you who are interested in doing that, the link for you to come up on screen and read is in the comment section. All right, so the link is in the comment section, guys, for those of you who are interested in entering the screen and reading. So the link is in the comment section. And remember, today's our last session on hurricanes, where we read about hurricanes, okay? So come on, guys, let me see you in the comment section. Let me see you guys in the comment section. Remember, we are going to be reading our last session on hurricane. We have done a lot of sessions on hurricane. Last night, we were reading about Hurricane Beryl. And tonight, we're just going to be reading some more information about hurricanes. You know, even though they are bad, they can be good in other ways too. So I think tonight, a lot of our reading would be on the benefits of hurricane. Okay? So our reading tonight would actually be on the benefits. And I hope that you guys are ready for that. Come on, guys. I'm looking forward for you typing in the comment section where you're from. Let us know where you're being from. Go ahead. Type in the comment section, guys. Say where you're from. Don't forget to also give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to actually give the video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much. All right. So remember when we are reading, one of the things that we do always is to ensure that we identify those words that might be very difficult for us to call. And remember, when we say difficult, we mean words that when you see them, you know to yourself that you're not familiar with them, or Sometimes they may look longer than normal, like in the case of words that may have like a suffix at the end. And those suffixes could be as simple as adding an S, or it can be as difficult as adding words like ness and less at the end. So some of us, when suffixes are added to the word, we no longer can call the word. It's going to present a challenge for us. And that's okay. It does happen. However, you always have to be careful to know that you have to practice a lot in reading so that after a time, these things will become very easy for you. Okay? So let me thank you, those of you who are here watching us. Thank you so much for being here. And those of you who are on YouTube, thank you for being here in our YouTube family. Those of you who are on TikTok, thank you so much for being here. So let's go ahead and let's begin slowly. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We are going to get right into our reading. We are going to begin by reading the difficult words. Remember, we are going to sound them out and we're going to try our best to break them down to call them. So let's get right to that. Please highlight the words that are difficult. So this may look like a difficult word. All right, so we're going to do the difficult ones from the first line. So that may be difficult from the first line. Those are the ones that we're going to do first. All right, so let's go. Our first word, it's a compound word. A compound word is where you have two words making a whole word. So in this case, you might be able to identify this word. The A and I in this word says A. The A makes a sound. The I stays silent. So we hear A, A. So in English, you can basically say that A and I together makes the sound A. A and I together makes the sound A, A. All right? So we make the sound for the letter R, and the letter N. Hmm. When we put it all together, we have in. We have and we have rain. So the word is rain, rain. So our first part of the word, we hear in rain. And we know what rain is. It's water that comes from the sky. We call it rain. Our next word, we have W making the sound, book. Then we have the A. Just like in rain, we hear the A say A. It's the same thing. In this word, we hear A too. Then we hear the T make the sound, and the ER says er. In English, E and R together says er. In English, E and R together says er. So let's put it all together. We hear whoop, R, and then we hear T and er. So together we hear whoop, R, and then T and water. Sorry, guys. I said that we hear the A song. In this one, we do not hear the A song. It's actually ah. So we hear for the song for A here. So we hear whoop, ah, whoop, ah, and then we hear t and water. So we hear whoop, t, water. If you're using American English, they would say water, water. That is where they're pronouncing this T as a D sound. So you hear water. But in the British English, which is the English that I'm really using, that you would hear the T sound. So you hear water, water, water. All right. So together, both words says rain and water. Rain, water, rainwater. That's our big word there. Two words together make that sound. All right, this is our word that we've been studying all the time. I know you know this one. So we're going to go through this one very quickly. All right, we're going to go through this one very quickly. We're going to go through this one very quickly. And it's usually so my TikTok friends, oh, they just rather look at us reading than playing the match. I don't know, guys. Seems as though they just rather us reading than playing the match. A TikTok friends. Seems as though that's what they rather. That's good. All right, guys. So let's continue. So we are going to be looking at our next word. In that word, we have skate, making the sound. Then we have you and I together, just like E and I make the sound, you and I also says, So we hear, and then we hear, uh, then we hear, The I here makes a sound like Y, where it calls the E sound. So, like in the word hurry, hurry, where the Y makes the E sound, that is what we're hearing there. So we hear and then E, hurry. So this part of the word says hurry, and then we have cane. And this cane is like candy cane or like a cane that is being used by the police, the stick that they use. Also, it is cane like sugar cane. So any of those cane, you use this spelling. If it's a name, the name would have AI instead of the A, something in between an EI. That's for those of you who are looking at it for spelling purposes. All right, so when E is at the end, the E is going to be silent in this word. And because the E is silent, it's going to give power to the A to call its name. So the A is going to say A, A. So now we're going to hear in, came. And when we finish calling the word, we would add the S sound, okay? Always call the word first, then add the ending sound. So we hear hurry, came, hurricane. Let's add the S sound now, which is, so in this word, we hear hurricanes, hurricanes, hurricanes. And remember, hurricanes are what? What did we say hurricanes are? They are natural disasters. Yeah, a hurricane is a natural disaster that actually gains its power when it comes over warm waters, and those warm waters will now help it to build its strength so that it can develop winds above 90 miles per hour. I think it is. Can't remember exactly above how much miles per hour, guys, but yes, it would develop to a certain amount of miles per hour. I wonder if it's 90. I think it's 70. I'm subject to correction. It's between 70 and 90 miles per hour. It would that would be when you have like the category 1 hurricane. When it's at the different categories like 2 and 3 and 4, then it's going to be even 9 miles per hour. Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and read the line now because we already see the two difficult words there and we're able to call them. Other than that, we're just going to highlight this word from, in case you do not know this one, from. Also this one, that, that, and this one, are. So now we can read the word. Remember, this word says the when it comes before a word that begins with a consonant sound. When it comes before a word that begins with a vowel, then we would say the. So if I had a word here like egg, it would be the egg, the egg. So the word, the sound would change. Whenever it comes before a word that begins with a vowel, the. Whenever it comes before a word that begins with a consonant, the. Okay. So now, as we are familiar with those, we are going to read. Let's see how much we can remember. Don't forget, please, we are going to be reading word for word first, word for word, and then after that, we're going to change to phrases. Then we're going to read it fluently as the whole sentence. So let's see if we can read word for word. The rainwater from hurricanes that are. Let's read it one more time. This time we're going to be using phrases. Remember, phrases, that's where we have 2, 3, 4 words. We're reading together at the same time, and they really do not make any sense. So we're not reading right now to gain sense from our reading, okay? So let's go ahead now and let's read with phrase. The rain water from hurricanes that are. Let's now read in a sentence. Don't forget, we are reading in a sentence now, which means we are going to try our best to read through very fluent. Okay, we want to read through very fluently. Let's see if we can make it to read through very fluently. Ready to go? Let's go, guys. The rainwater from hurricanes that are. Very good. Let's try it again. You should be very fluent with this. Try your best to be very, very fluent. The rainwater from hurricanes that are. If you did it like that, then you did an awesome job. Let's go now to our next line. That's where we are going to be reading by breaking down our words or decoding them. We're going to be breaking down our words or we're going to be decoding them. Are you ready to break down the words or to decode them? Let's go. You're ready to break down the words or to decode them? Let's start. All right. So this word or this part of the word, it is a suffix. It says d, d, e, d, e. So here we make a long sound. D, D. Anytime you see DE before a lot of English words, most of them would say D. However, in some of them, you would hear de, where the E says the short sound. Okay? And the suffix, sorry, the prefix, guys, I'm so sorry. The prefix. The prefix D. what does the prefix D really means? D means from something or off of something. So anytime you hear the prefix D being used, it is saying that something comes from something, like the word derive, or it is saying that something is off of something, like detached would be a word that would say that something is off of something, okay? Or it means when you reduce something. So when something is reduced, you can also use the suffix D before the word, okay? So in these examples, that's how we use the suffix. Why I keep saying suffix, guys, I don't know. I'm not sure why I keep saying suffix. Prefix, I mean, guys. Prefix. So we have the prefix D, then we have P, or, D, or. And then you can see a small word here. So the smaller word would be it, and we add S to it. We have it, sit. So if you cannot call the three-letter word, then you can call the two-letter word and then add the sound S, and you have the word sit. Like when you sit on your bottom, sit. So let's now call this part of the word it, pause it, pause it, pause it, pause it. Okay? So now let's put the two parts together. We have D, pause, it, deposit, deposit. And in deposit, we have the ed here at the end, and the ed here would make the sound what? Because the word ends with T, whenever a word ends with T, what sound would the ed make? What sound would the ed make? Would we say D? Would we say T? Or would we say id? So the one that we use is id. Id. So we'll say deposited, deposited, deposited. What does the word deposited mean? Or what does the word deposit? Deposit. When you deposit something, what does it mean? When something is deposited, what does it mean? Can you tell? Okay, so deposit actually means what? For example, you deposit money into the bank. For example, you deposit money into the bank. What does it mean? Okay, so when you deposit something, it is simply meaning that you make a down payment. You make a down payment to deposit something means to make a down payment. So the word deposit means to make a down payment, or it could be like an installment, or it can be like when you like basically, sorry guys, my TikTok friends. Please don't forget to tap the screen, okay? Or it could be like when you make a pledge, or it could be when you place something into safekeeping, or when you leave something somewhere, or when you basically put in something that is valuable, you would call it a deposit. Okay? Good. So our word is deposited. So the ED would show that this Guys, I'm so sorry. I really don't know what happened with the live. It seems as though it's my internet connection. I really don't know what happened. So now that I came in, I see that somebody has been here saying hello. Oh, Dry Rice. Hi, Dry Rice. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. And Dry Rice is a long time friend, has been here from day one of the channel. So thank you for being here, Dry Rice. Thank you for still playing. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry, guys. Those of you who are watching from YouTube, I don't know exactly what has happened, but it seems as though it was the internet connection, but you guys were still live. So thank you for sticking by. We do appreciate you being here. And yeah, you guys are always a wonderful set of people. Let's pray. Yeah, God bless her. You guys are a wonderful set of people. So nevertheless, we're gonna continue and we're gonna finish the live. What I would do, I would be careful enough to take this part out. So those of you who are watching in the future, this part where this part where we had the outage will not affect you in any of this. Right? So thank you for being here and thank you for being our day one supporters, those of you who are our supporters. We do appreciate each and every one. Okay, guys. All right. So our next word is the word, sorry, guys, is the word land. Land. That's the word that we do learn. The word lion. So we can see the small word an in the word, the small word an, and so we read it with the song, and we then add the song for L, and land, then we add the song for us, lands, lands. All right. So once we were able to call this word, then we should automatically be able to call this one. And so we have and. You can see the small word in and to, into, into. So now let's read this line. After we finish reading this line, we're going to read the first line and this line together. Okay? We're going to be reading the first line and this line together to make sure that we have mastered the concept. All right? Thank you, guys. We're going to be um, reading them both. So let's go. Deposited across lands and into water. Let's read them both. Deposited across lands and into water. All right. So if you think you have mastered those words now, let's go ahead and read the two lines. Remember the big words, rainwater, hurricanes, deposited across water. Okay, so now let's see how fluently we can read both lines. Let's see how fluently we can read both lines. Are you ready? Let's go ahead. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water. Let's read it one more time. Let's read it one more time. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water. Save you, girl. So if you were able to read that fluently, then you did an awesome job. If you were able to read that fluently, you did an awesome job. Let's go ahead again. Let's go ahead again. And this time, guys, remember to comment in the comment section if there are still words that you are having problems with, any words there that you having problems with, so let me know what words are bothering you, what words you have challenges with. Yeah, thank you, my TikTok followers. Thank you guys. Okay, so let's go now and read this second line. Third line. So we have S and T together, making the song like in the word stop, O and R together, or, but in this word, we don't put the O and R together, okay? We put the O-R-E together as a song. So O-R-E, just like O-A-R, makes the sound O, O, O. O-R-E, just like O-A-R, make the sound O, O, O. So in this word, we have store, store. Then we add the S. Our word now is stored. Okay? And we know the word store as in a store, a place that you go to buy things, like the grocery store. We also know store as in when you save up something or when you try to collect things and you put them in a special place. We can say that we are storing them so that we stock them up. So another word we can use for store is stock. We can also use the word pile. You can say we pile them or we keep them. We can also say that we have an inventory when we use the word store. So when we store things, we are actually keeping them so that we can use them later. So store means to keep things so that they can be used later. Okay? All right. Let's now see if there's any more words here that we have problems with. Of course, you might have a problem with this word, such. However, if you know the word much, this will become very easy for you. Much, and such. They rhyme. So that's the reason why it's good to know these endings of words so that you can use other words with the same ending to call them. It does not always work so in English, but you find that in English, you would have a variety of the words. And because there is a variety, it means that you would still learn at least about 5, 6, up to 20 words with that same ending pronunciation. All right, which will be good for you in the long run. So this word says such. Our next word is a word that is very difficult even for English learners, people who know English. A lot of the times it's difficult for them when it comes to spelling. When it comes to spelling, it becomes very challenging, right? Some of them, if they're not familiar with the word, the pronunciation would also be a problem for them. So this word, we hear e. Remember, we are accustomed to the prefix where R and E together says re. But in this one, we're not hearing that. We hear the short sound. We hear re, s, and then we hear or. Do we hear or in it? And then we hear v, and then we hear o. Okay? So let's see. The word actually says reservoir, reservoir. So we hear re, then we hear oh. So we hear reservoir, and then we hear oh. So it means that the I here is silent. The I is silent. So there's a silent I in the word. Because in English, we know O and I together says oi. But in this word, we are not hearing an oi pronunciation. We do not hear oi, we hear the O and R saying o. So the I is silent. But when you're spelling, remember that the I is present there. Okay, don't forget that. So this word says res, and then we hear rezo. Remember, ER takes the sound, schwa sound, where it says uh. It takes schwa sound a lot of times where it says Okay, so we hear rezo, and then we hear oh. So now that we're able to pronounce the word reservoir, we're going to now add the S. So let's add the sound. So reservoir, we hear S, ER takes a schwa sound, ER takes a schwa sound, and the OR is saying O, the I silent. Okay? So we add S, we hear reservoirs. Okay, our next word is this word. And this one you might be very familiar with it. E and A together says E. There is silent. So we have C. And we add the S, we hear Together we hear the word sees. And this C is not like see with your eyes. It's see as in see with the water. Okay, so in your spelling, be very careful. Then we hear iv, riv, and then we hear the ER saying We put it together, we have river. We add the S now, we hear rivers. So are you guys familiar with what a sea is? Are you familiar with what a river is? Are you familiar with what a reservoir is? And all these things, when we think of them, we think about water. We think about water. Okay? We think about water, guys. So type in the comment section if you are familiar with all of these. If there's one that you're not familiar with, let us know which one you're not familiar with. And I think I know the one that you might not be familiar with. Yeah, I think I know the one that you might not be familiar with. The one that you might not be familiar with might be the one reservoir. And I think I know why you might not be familiar with reservoir. So let me know if that is the one that you are not so familiar with. Let me. So a reservoir, it is actually something that can be natural or it can be something that is man-made. So it's artificial. That's where they would make it themselves. And it's a lake. It's a lake. So a lake that holds water or that is used as a supply for water, that's what you would call a reservoir. So it can be a lake looking body of water. It can be a pond looking body of water. It can look like a pool. Any of those, you would call it a reservoir. Okay? Any of those, you can call them reservoirs. Okay. So that's good. You guys are familiar with reservoir now. So remember, it can be natural or it can be man-made. In my country, when we speak about a reservoir, we are speaking about something that is like a large pool of water. That's what we call a reservoir. And it's normally man-made. So the one that is man-made, that's what we call reservoirs. We don't call natural ones like that reservoirs. Okay? It's most of the times they would refer to the man-made ones as reservoirs. But no, coming to think of it, I think they do call the natural ones reservoirs too. Yes, they do call the natural ones reservoirs too. So here we do call the natural ones reservoirs. And we have quite a few reservoirs. We have um, quite a few. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this line. Stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers. All right. If you think you have mastered those words, let's go ahead and read from the top now. Let's see how well we can read all those parts together. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water, stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers. All right, let's try it one more time. Let's see if you've mastered it. And you are doing quite a good job. Let's go. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water, stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers. All right, you guys did an awesome job. It's good. See how well you've mastered it now on your own. Let's see. Okay. When you're trying to see how well you've mastered it on your own, it would be really great for you to actually um like tape yourself. You can do it on your phone, tape yourself reading it, and then listen to it to see if you have pronounced the words correctly. All right. That would be a great one for you to do or for you to practice. Let's now read it one more time. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers. Good job. Now let's go ahead and let's read our last three lines. We're going to look for the words that we might find difficult reading, remember? the words that you might find difficult reading. That's what we're going to be checking for. And what I think tomorrow, Lods we'll do all of the parts for hurricane that we've done before, and we'll just be reading right through it, looking for the words. We're not going to be singing them out. We just look for them, call them, and then we're going to read through just to make sure that you're still familiar with the word. So you guys can make the effort to attend that live to make sure that you have the words together. Okay. All right. So let's look at our other words that we have. So remember, when E is at the end, the E is silent. It gives power to the A to call its name. We hear A. When we put it together, we have A, lake. When we add the S, we hear lakes, lakes. All right, so our word here is lakes, lakes. Like the word rake, bake, take. That's why it's good to learn the endings for the words, guys, because you can actually build from the endings. The ending here is 8. When you see the S added, always call the first part of the word and then the other S after. So we say new and 8, lake. We have S, we have lakes. All right. So we just completed this small word, an. So we add the t. We have tan and we have k at the end. So we can say ang, tank, tank. The word here is tank. Remember N and K, they go as a consonant blend at the end. We hear m, 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 m. All right. When we add the S at the end, we have tanks, tanks, tanks. Okay, tanks. And this tanks is not like tanks, like when you tell somebody thank you. The word thank you should be a sound between your teeth where you hear. So thank you, thank you. Okay, but thank now, this is actually that tool or that instrument that we would use to collect water. So it's like a large storage container. It stores liquid in it, or in this case, it will be liquid because it's water. But there are tanks that would also hold gas in them. So tanks, they can hold liquid or they can hold gas, right? So it's a large storage chamber or a large storage container. Okay, let's see. Our next word is the word all, mull. Then we hear t, mull. Then we hear e. The I there makes us e sound, or the short I sound, multi. It depends on where the pronunciation comes from. Some people would say multi, some would say multi. And then we have pre, and the I makes the sound the I along with the E. And then we hear the S. So the L and I, sorry, the I and E says I. The E is silent, and we hear the I make the sound, like in the word liar, liar. Okay, so we add the S, put it together. All, mul, T, or multi, and we hear eyes, multiplies. All right. So our word is multiplies, multiplies. For those of you who say multiply, it is the same word we are saying, Okay, multiply, multiply. It's the same word. Okay, guys? It's just a difference with the song that the I makes, whether some makes the short I sound, some makes the short E sound. But you would hardly recognize it because the fact that you're saying the word very fast, that would take away from the song being. With Hurricane Beryl, we have been having some problems with our internet here on in our country since we have had that storm Beryl. So I'm so sorry for the times when the internet would just glitch a bit and stop the line. So I have to be paying very keen attention. So I'm so sorry, guys. Anyways, we're gonna be continuing from where we started. So the last word that we were doing before we were having this problem was the word we. Aren't together we in this word. Remember, sometimes you can say where the E makes a short sound. So we hear we, and then we see the small word ills. So we have the I makes a short sound, A, two L makes one sound, I. We put it together, we hear E and ill, refill. We add the S now, we have refills, refills, refills. Okay. And our word here is the, because what comes after it is a word that begins with a consonant. Remember, when a word that begins with a consonant comes after this word, it was being called the. Okay, so let's now go ahead and read our sentence. And then after that, we would read from the top. Lakes, tanks, multiplies, or refills the. Let's read it one more time. Lakes, tanks, multiplies, or refills the. All right, nice. So you guys are doing well so far. Let's go ahead now and read from the top. Then we only have one more sentence to go, and then we'll be done. All right, so let's read. Let's read that. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the. Right, let's do it one more time. Let's do it one more time, guys. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the. Good. So let's see the other words that we have today. And then we are getting closer. We're getting so closer, guys. Closer to stardom. So F and R together makes the song anur, pur, e. The S makes the sound sh, fresh. Then we hear whoop. Oh, we know this word already. So I'm expecting you to remember what this word is. Anytime a word keeps repeating itself, I'm expecting you to remember it. So repeat this word at the beginning as a compound word with another word, rain. And then we did it here again, right here again. You can see it right here. So we have the word here again. So this word says water, water. Remember, if you're pronouncing it like the Americans, it would say water, water. So let's go. Fresh, fresh, water, fresh water, fresh water, fresh water. The Americans would say fresh water, fresh water. All right. Our next word is up, sub. Then we see the small word here, up, sub. Then we see plea, P and L together, plea, I-N-E, eyes. And then we hear zzz, flies, flies. Remember the S at the end makes a sound like zzz, flies. All right. And we can see plies here in this word up here too. Multiplies. So then if our beginning of our word says up, sub, and then we get plies, our word would be supplies, 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 supplies. All right. And what are supplies? What are supplies? And what is fresh water? So fresh water is water that we get from like rivers. We also get those water from um, the rain. That would be fresh water, right? So fresh water, it is water that does not contain salt in it. It is water that does not contain salt in it. That's the water that we call fresh water. Okay. Supplies. What does supplies mean? So when something supplies something, what does it mean? So supply simply means to provide or to give, or it can mean to contribute, or it can mean to, um, let's think of another word. That means the same as supply. Okay, when you make something available, then you supply it. Whenever you make something available, you are supplying it to. Okay? Or it can mean to give, to provide, or to contribute, or even to grant. When you grant something, you're supplying it. All right, any one of those words, we can use them to mean supplies. So we see can in this word, we say can, get, get. And this is a word that has been occurring frequently in our story. So by now, you should know this word very well. Water in the British pronunciation, or water if you are now learning how to pronounce the word water. Two, SMT together, A-N-Y-A, stay. Remember the A makes a sound A, the Y stays silent, so we have A, stay, and is at the end silent, so the vowel I will call its name, so we hear alive, alive, alive. So our word is alive. What does it mean to be alive? Or for something to stay alive. When it is alive, what does it mean? We know the meaning for the word alive. So when you are alive, it means you're living. It means that you have life. It means that you are breathing, that you are moving, that you are not dead, or that you are existing. All right? You are alert, you are active. All those can mean the same as being alive. Okay, guys. So any one of those words you use to mean alive, that you have life, you are breathing, you are active, you're moving, you are existing, any one of those can mean the same as alive. So I hope that you guys are feeling alive today. Remember, alive does just not mean that you are living. It also means like you are feeling energized or you're feeling active. Good. So you always remember to stay lively and alive. Yeah. In all that you do, guys. That part of you, keep it going no matter what comes your way. Okay? You may not be able to keep it going in the moment, but even if you fall, rise. Even if the worst has happened, you can still bounce yourself back. And one of the ways that you can do that is to know that you have God as your Savior. All right, so let's read now those parts that we have just completed. Let's read them. Are you ready to do that? Let's go. Fresh water supplies so we can get water to stay alive. Now let's read it as a whole clean sentence. Fresh water supplies so we can get water to stay alive. All right, that's how we read it. Won't it? Now let's go through the whole story. You're going to see how much we remember all the words and everything that we have covered today. Let's see how well we remember things. If you guys are ready for that, I'm ready for that. Okay? You're all ready for that. So let's go ahead and do that. From the top. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the fresh water supplies so we can get water to stay alive. All right. So let's try that one more time. And let's try our best to be very, very extra, extra, extra fluent. You think you can do that, guys? I think you can. So let's try to master it. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the freshwater supplies so we can get water to stay alive. All right. And that's how you read it so that you can remember the parts of it. So I'm going to take off all these marks on it now, all of the marks, and I'm going to see how much we can remember. I'm going to remove the marks so that we have nothing to help us to remember the words, no tools, no hints. There's nothing that we're going to have. You just got to remember the words now by sight. If you don't remember a word, then you have to try to read in context so that the word will come to your mind. If you read it in context, then because we've done all the words that are there, when you see a word that begins with that sound, it would automatically help you to know, hey, this is the word because these are the words that we have studied tonight. So let's see how fluent we can go with it. And then we're going to read it fluently 2 times. And then we're going to stop there for tonight. Let's go ahead and read it. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the fresh water supplies so we can get water to stay alive. All right, so you see hurricanes, despite their bad, when it comes to the wind, because the wind can be very dangerous. The water can also be very dangerous in flooding, cases of flooding. And when the water begins to move, that can be very dangerous because we have noticed that there was someone from Jamaica who lost their life because of moving water. It was like flooding and the water was moving and the water washed that person away. So moving water is very, very dangerous. So it can be very dangerous in those instances. And also with lightning, that can be very, very dangerous. But then the hurricane, on the other hand, the water can be useful to our lives, right? Because the water that comes due to a hurricane, it can be used um, after the hurricane. It can be used for cooking, it can be used for washing, for drinking, and for all these purposes. The water during the hurricane, the worst part of the hurricane might not be what we would use for drinking in our area, but it can be used for washing and for doing other chores, everyday chores, even bathing. We may not use it for drinking because sometimes during the hurricane, some of our reservoirs, that means our water catchment areas, they can um, be destroyed or they can be contaminated. So sometimes we have to be very careful with that when it comes to drinking water after a hurricane. It's always important to boil the water. Okay. So if that's not something that you've been practicing, ensure that you practice that to boil water after a hurricane. All right. Let's go now and read one more time. Remember, we are striving for fluency, so try your best to be as fluent as you can. The rainwater from hurricanes that are deposited across lands and into water stores such as reservoirs, seas, rivers, lakes, tanks, multiplies or refills the freshwater supplies so we can get water to stay alive. All right. So I hope that you did understand this piece that we read and that you would use it for practice. Remember, practice words, spelling like rain, water, where we join the two words together to make a new word. Remember the I in it is silent because the A and I says A, but only the A sound you hear. You didn't hear the sound for the I, so the I is silent. So remember when spelling, you have to remember that the I is there. Practice to spell words like deposited, because that's a longer word. Also, hurricanes, as in the Y is in hurry, yeah, but in cane, this is cane like sugar cane. So hurry, 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 normally would spell with a Y, but in hurricane, we hear hurry here with an I. Okay? Practice words like across, even water. Practice how to spell it. Stall, because in stores we hear O, remember O-R-E is saying O here. So you have to remember what the variation looks like in terms of the spelling variation. It's O-R-E. Reservoir, remember in reservoir, you hear O at the end, but a I is between the O and the R. Okay? And that I is silent. Also, words like lake, where we have silent E at the end. Practice the spelling, multiplies. Practice the spelling where the I and E says I. The S at the end makes a sound like Z. Practice that too, so you can note the S and not a Z making the sound. Practice the word refill, how to spell refill, and also fresh water, because that's two words together, making a new word. Supplies, practice the word supplies, and practice the word stay, where you hear A Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have done an amazing job. Keep practicing, guys. And for your practice, guys, don't forget the words that we have studied. We just look at the words one more time. Rainwater, deposited, across, hurricanes, reservoirs, stores, multiplies, refills, supplies, fresh water, alive, stay. All right, guys, be sure to practice the words, and I hope I'll see you guys again soon. Don't forget to keep blooming in love and to practice, try your best, and may God continue to bless you. Until I see you guys soon.